They do.
That is true. Some books are fiction. This
I don't think so.
this is not fiction. And at any point he could have said, I don't want to be in your book. And he didn't. And if I were in a book, I would be proud that I was in a book. I would be telling everybody. I would be on top of the Empire State Building with a megaphone shouting that shit. So we're just hearing about this book now. So is he embarrassed by the book?
He was afraid. He was afraid that people were going to find out. And guess what? They found out.
People found out.
Found the fuck out. When we were friends, listen, he never released that information to us. That was the one thing that pissed me off. If y'all heard me in the live, I told him to his face. I said, James, if it's so fucking innocent, why have you never told anyone about this? Ever. If you say you're doing no wrong, and you, at one point, James told me and Nicole his whole life story, why'd you leave that one part out? That's weird. I knew all about his past in the gang life. I knew all about the way him and Marty grew up, but that's the one part you decided to leave out. Come on now. He knows that was wrong.
And I'm not saying that everybody has to tell everybody their deep, dark secrets.
No, but come on.
But
he evaded that completely.
Yeah.
That's just not something you forget.
Yeah.
She forced me to court her. You know, she had me go down the park and swing her kid on the swings, okay? We're from poverty. I'm the godfather of the Bloods, and she duped me. Thank you, little Red. Gifts are always appreciated, but not expected.
Don't forget the street light.
Oh, yeah. Can we do story time? Oh, I can't turn my camera on. Fuck, cuz. I do the best story times, man. But yeah, you were talking about a guy that stood under a streetlight and cried because he got bitch slapped by his cousin. I think he cried because that's the sign his girlfriend had to go home for dinner.
That I was there for that.
Man, the streetlights are on. She's got to go in now.
Thank you, Red.
I gotta go to her parents, get a permission slip, just take her to the restaurant to eat a burger. Fuck. Oh God, I can't wait to write my book. Hey, y'all think I'm kidding? I really am taking a sabbatical to really write a book. I am. I have a friend who hooked me up with a publisher. I swear to God, that's not a part of a joke or nothing.
That's good.
I'm really deleting the Grow Queen accounts here soon, and I'm really going to publish a book about the things I've seen on TikTok.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll be bought. I do.
I think no one's done it yet. Think about it. I know there's been documentaries and stuff on people, but nobody's done that yet. And it's not going to be hearsay or imagination. It's going to be legit shit. And I'm going to provide the, facts to it. I'm going to go over, I plan on, writing about the numerous pedos and registered sex offenders that run amok on this app. I'm going to name names that have factual, documents with it. I'm going to definitely talk about the known real life abusers on this app. Sparky's going to be a big part of that book. Absolutely. I'm going to talk about a lot of the, just blind loyalty, if you want to call it that. I got a lot of different things to talk about.
Just don't sign away any royalty rights.
I don't think so, Petty, unless you want to be. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. Another TikToker, I don't want to say her name, but I'm blessed like this, but her current relationship, he is a publisher. And no, I'm definitely not going to do that. But Blood, we're going to keep facts to this book. No, but I really am retiring from all this fuck shit. I'm deleting every Grow Queen account. And, I'll still be on my other social medias, but I'm not doing that shit.
Well, when you do the book, can you make my butt smaller when you describe me?
Absolutely. Lady J walked in with a perfect hourglass body shape. Just boom, boom, boom.
All I'm asking for.
Yeah. I gotta look into that though, Steph. How does that work? Am I gonna have to, these are questions I forgot to ask the TikToker the other night. These things I'm gonna have to get signed for. If I bring somebody up in the book and use their name, will I have to get permission?
So you can go around that. You can just make a public notice, and it's X amount of days depending on where you live. So you'll have to look that part up. as long as it's published and nobody sits there and tries to say no to you or files against it, then you can do it.
Maybe I should just change the names around so I don't get fucked. Because you know someone there's like, I'm suing this bitch.
Well, like the thing
I can always
is,
change the names.
if you just use their tag, like if you were gonna put me in it as Lady J, okay.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Can I get away with the usernames? Ooh, because those
Yeah,
are trademark.
because those aren't people's actual names.
As long as it's not a trademark name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you
that's
got to think
the
about it. In 4 years, you know, I've seen so much different sides of the app, right? We have the grow host side, and the grow host side ain't clean. That side was not clean. Y'all remember all them damn grow hosts I outed back then? That was a lot of people. That was like 19 different huge creators. There's a dark side over there too. You know, there's scamming, there's pedos, there's abusers, there's bullying, there's doxing, and hell, I'm guilty of some of the shit that I'm gonna put my shit in there too. I promise you that. There's a lot of shit to talk about. A lot of shit.
I think it'll sell. I do.
Oh, absolutely. I'm being dead ass serious.
Don't
I really
put a
am.
$90 price tag on it.
No. And you know what? I'm only going to stick to like real key, you know, memories. And the people, they have to be main characters. I'm not going to pull like these little names out of a hat, like, oh, this is a Wreck-It Girl. No, I'm going to talk about collectively, like Sparky, for instance. I absolutely am going to bring him up. Petty Betty. You know, there's a lot of main people that I want to talk about in that shit.
Lucifer.
It's going to be dark though, man. I'm telling you, it's not going to be like peaches and cream.
I know. But I mean, talk
public radio.
about the stuff. You know, talk about everything that was done after Lucifer died. You know, people came together and did this.
But I'm also going to attribute good things to people too. I'm not just going to make it all bad shit. Like if there's creators are doing good shit, I'm going to notarize that. You know, I'm going to make note of that. Like you got to give it up sometimes for Chillbilly, for instance. He's a main factor in my life on this app, and he's always done mostly positive shit. You know, he's going to be someone to bring up. I'm definitely a positive attribute. So,
You know, it's don't make it all negative, but don't make it all positive. But at least also make it funny.
Oh, you know I will.
Come on, it's Grow.
Throwing little digs. Yeah, come on, man.
No, but like
Every other word's
I'll
going to be
name a chapter "Draining the Lizard" just for you. Draining the Lizard, chapter 8.
Now you have to make sure you put the Emily skit in there.
Absolutely.
Black ruffled socks.
Oh, they were in the bed the whole time, guys. The whole time. He's silly me. Goosey.
But what I can do, Grow, is off this app, I'll connect you with somebody. He wrote a book from prison.
Cool.
He's still in prison, and his book went wild because he was talking about the corruption of prison while being in prison. And he got it published. It's in Barnes and Nobles. It's on Amazon. It's all over the place.
well,
And he
you
did
know
it for
that
pennies
Oh, yeah,
on the dollar.
thank you. Please and thank you.
There's was a guy who actually ended up getting the death penalty, but he was one of like the founders of either the Crips or the Bloods. I don't remember which one. And he ended up going to prison for murder and all this other stuff. Well, while he was in there, he wrote children's books on how not to join gangs. They nominated him for a Nobel Peace Prize
Wow.
and then executed him like a year later. Like he didn't win the Peace Prize, but yeah.
A nomination, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
they made a movie about it. I just don't remember if it was one of like a Lifetime movie or one of those made for TV ones. But yeah, like he spent his time in prison doing everything that he could to keep kids away from gangs. And he's the
That's
one
what I'm
that
trying to do
started
with TikTok. I'm trying to keep people away from TikTok. Don't join TikTok.
Don't do it.
But think about it. Seriously, it's a creative idea. Nobody has done this yet. Name one.
Yeah.
There's not.
And then
And
you
there's
know,
a lot of shit people don't realize goes on.
if you do use just their tag names, even if people were to Google it, it would still pop up. You know what I'm saying? If TikTok does go down here in the United States, doubtful, but just saying it'll still pop up. It'll still generate.
I even have been speaking to another, and y'all know who I'm talking about. And this, again, I'm going to keep it low key. The same person that knows the publisher. I've been talking to her for a couple months about it, actually. And I think we're going to possibly do it together, like submit a couple chapters to each other and compare it and see if it works that way. And, you know, get her experience and then put my experience in there. I think it's going to be good. I think that's a good idea. I'm excited. This person's also leaving the app here soon. She's a bigger creator who knows her.
Anytime you want me to read over something, make sure it sounds good or whatever, you got my snap.
Getting a new video out of Las Vegas.
Thank you. I am still going to go have fun every now and then on Favorited, though. Like, just doing pop-up and stopping in. But as far as TikTok, I'm so over it now.
It also shows how the building
Just make sure that you put in the merry-go-round that could have you mad at this person, hating that person, and then by the time the merry-go-round spins again, they're going to be best friends.
Oh, absolutely, Little Red.
found in the desk, remarkably not terribly damaged.
Yeah, it's been a thought of mine now for a couple months. I'm getting things in order, so I'm excited about it. Somebody thought I was kidding earlier, like, no, I'm dead serious. I mean, think about it with Liam having to be home for now. Like, I've already found out I'm going to have to homeschool him for kindergarten, right? We've already figured that out because he's not ready yet. I need to set a lot of things up for him to go to school. So that's a whole nother year. I can't really go back to work yet. Might as well, you know, while I'm doing that, do that in my spare time instead of being on TikTok. And I'll be homeschooling him a few hours a day. So I got that sad news from the doctor, that update that we are just deciding to move forward. The doctor and the doctor's team and me, and I'm just going to homeschool him next year. Hey, Britt.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that they can reevaluate it. You know,
mentally he's ready. Physically and mentally he's ready. The problem is, you know, one, we're worried about the sensitivity of his chest because he can't even have things knock into it. You know, he has a plastic piece in there still. Like he'll never be able to play contact sports. But as far as like, you know, in kindergarten, kids are wild. They'll run into each other, and that's something we worry about. And then we also worry about, you know, the fact of he has to still at night. Sometimes he still has to have a pulse ox monitor on. So, you know, there's a lot of emergency steps. Basically, if I'm going to do it, I got to find a really, really, really good school that can handle what he needs. And around here,
it's just not happening.
I might have to transport him to Cleveland, just go to school.
Well, actually, and don't quote me on this, I may possibly be wrong, but isn't there a program in schools now where the school will pay for him to have an aide be there with him all day?
Yes, but I don't know yet. I got to look into that. I don't know if that's more for like, because he would need a physical aid. I don't know if that's more for like mental health reasons, like kids with special needs or kids that, you know, have an IEP for anxiety or ADHD or, you know, autism. I don't know if they have someone like that for the physical aspect of it. So that's something I got to look into, which
they do grow. So
he has a great caseworker in Cleveland Clinic, and she'll tell me.
An IEP doesn't necessarily mean that you're special needs. Like people automatically think it's a disability. So it's special needs, an IEP, so you can be in the GATE program, the gifted program, and you're going to have an IEP. That's just how that is. So it's not because you have a disability because you're in a wheelchair or anything like that. An IEP just means that it's an individual education plan. So with his, it would be just a plan over his medical.
And that's what I got to talk to the hospital and the doctor about, because we're going to need a medical standpoint on it. It's not even like, you know, like I said, this person's going to have to know things. Okay, when I tell you all this, it sounds crazy, but at any given moment, for instance, I'll give you a little peep into Liam's life. If he gets a cold, normal kids his age, they get a cold, it passes. You might give them some saline, get their nose out, whatever you got to do. In Liam's case, if he gets a common cold, I have to immediately put him in the pulse ox machine, immediately, no matter what. If his chest is any kind of stuff, no matter what, I got to immediately do that and check his pulse ox rate. Then I have to, if he runs a fever, if he gets anything at fever grade, I have to immediately take him to the hospital. So it's like, you know, little things like that could happen. And at a medical standpoint, are we going to have someone there who can throw him in a pulse ox machine in the middle of class if he needs to? That's the kind of shit that we're going over now. And I knew this was coming, you know, when I first had him. They told me about all this, and now we're at that time where I got to figure all that out.
So what you should do, Grow, is get online, start researching, you know, people around you, what schools that they're doing online. Because a lot of the parents, even though they're doing homeschools, a lot of the parents will do like a park time where they go out and the kids can interact with one another.
Yeah.
And then still do their online
that's
schooling.
something else I worry about. I still want him to have social skills as well and be around other kids his age. I really do. I was